America's game of the week. We have the Chargers coming off a tough loss on Monday Night Football. Kenny Pickett throwing the game away at the end of it, missing Keenan Allen 3 times that could have blown the game open and given them a win on the road versus Kansas City. They are currently 5.5-point underdogs. Versus the Chiefs, who they've played pretty competitively. I believe all 4 of their last matchups have come down to 1 possession and a Brandon Staley blunder at some point in the game. So Chiefs at home in this game. How do you see this one going?
Look, we watched that Monday night game last week. I can't for the life of me. You wanted the Chargers to win last week, and you know how painful that can be.
It was.
And Kansas City, even though it seems as if they're not quite clicking on all cylinders, their defense is fantastic. I think that they can definitely contain this Chargers offense that, surprisingly to me, is just so clunky and just awkward. Kind of reminds me of the Saints offense, where you see the firepower there, but just something's just missing there. And with George Karlaftis and Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie and all those guys that are on that defensive side, all that young talent, I think they can give the Chargers some fits. And then also the Chargers, even though they have probably the closest matchup against the Chiefs historically, I just think the Chiefs, even though the receivers, there's a lot of question marks for the Chiefs, I can't pick Brandon Staley to beat Andy Reid in any capacity. Maybe being too harsh on the Chargers, but at the same time, this Chiefs team, they just seem to just be kind of coasting to these wins here, and I think they do the same against the Chargers.
Yeah, I think they do the same versus the Chargers. Chargers didn't give me enough hope to be able to believe in them, especially after that Cowboys game. It was a tough loss, and it seems like that team definitely does miss Mike Williams, especially against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs that are very familiar with you. You have Andy Reid that has some extra time to prepare. They had that Sunday Night Football. It's their second or Thursday Night Football game, which is that mini bye for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think they'll have enough firepower to be able to overtake the Chargers. And then the Chargers defense, when it matters, hasn't been able to get that spot. Chargers offense, when it matters, hasn't been able to get that comeback drive unless it's against a lowly team like the Minnesota Vikings that had a massive error where Kirk Cousins didn't spike the ball. If it wasn't for that, you're easily looking at a 1-win team here. So I think overall, the Chargers are even lucky to be where they are right now, even. So versus the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead on primetime, which Patrick Mahomes usually rises to the occasion, I can't go against Patty. He's currently the best player in football, not named Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, I have to pick the Chiefs here. Better coaching, better quarterback, better defense, better just everything around. I got to pick the Chiefs here.
And then last question, Chargers cover the spread?
What's the spread?
5.5.
Oh, man. Honestly, every game is close, so I'll say yes, but I think it's one of those games where Chiefs are in control, but the Chargers come back late.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think the Chargers cover the spread here. I think it's going to be a closer game, but Chiefs inevitably win it in the end.